Cambridge to see this Grimme Veritron 470. It belongs to Dennis Farms, and they grow quite a lot of potatoes. Dennis Farms grow just about 900 acres of potatoes. A lot of between sort of here and Ely, basically. So I've come to see the machine today. Like I said, Veritron 470, cruising along. Gorgeous conditions here. Soil's very see that better? I don't know. That's better. The soil's nice and light. It was a bit wetter when I got here this morning. It was a little bit sticky, but it's beautiful soil. Now it's dried. Anyway, so we're here in a, well, I think they said it's a 60-acre field. The runs are 1.2k on that side long, so quite a big field. The machine, I'm not walking all the way down there, my GoPros are on it, I don't need to walk down there. Dennis Farms are growers and merchants, and most of the potatoes they sell are direct to chip shops, fast food outlets in the southeast of England, so they're dealing direct with their customers, so that's a great way to add value to your product. Okay, riding alongside the machine here, we can see what's going on. Well, a little bit of what's going on. The soil is basically sieving the soil out, and you can see it all pouring out from underneath the machine there. And from the front we've got the topper running. Underneath the hood there is a set of flails. They're just finishing off the topping job. The farm will have already used a flail to desiccate the potatoes, stop them growing, to keep them at the growth stage that they want them at, and the topper just finishes that job off. See the potatoes going up into the first web here. This is it closer up. You can just see it emptying, and then as the machine goes into the crop, it fills up with much more soil, and you can see that bouncing to shake out the soil, separate the crop. So what do we know about this Grimme 470? So it's a 4-row harvester. Well, it's currently lifting 4 rows. Oliver said that they do grow some varieties in some conditions in 3 beds because they have the Grimmy GB330 planter, so that's able to be switched into planting 3 rows in a bed. You'll see the footage, it'll make sense. So instead of 2 rows, in the same amount of space, in the same amount of space, there's 3 rows of potatoes, and they do that inland where they can't irrigate so easily, so it retains more soil, so there's less surface area of soil exposed, and it retains the moisture. But anyway, currently this machine is rigged for lifting 2 rows, 2 sets of 2 rows, 4 rows at a time. From a technical point of view, the machine is 2021 model, stage 5, 10-litre Mercedes engine. But as you can hear, it's not a very loud, you don't hear the engines not roaring away, it's only running at, you know, I won't say at idle, but you know, a reasonably fast idle, let's call it. It's all hydraulic, hydrostatic, so everything is driven hydraulically on this machine. There's no direct connection between the engine and anything else other than the hydraulic pumps. Underneath, at the back, you can see the 2 TerraTraks, so they're class TerraTraks. The machine's also got a class cab, which is quite a familiar looking work platform. The webs underneath, so there's the digging web, first web, second web, so they are 45mm web spacing, so in between the fingers, so the webs will make sense with a bit of footage. So they're 45mm spacing, so the 3 webs 45, 45, 35, so the back one is slightly tighter, and it's just a big set of sieves. Essentially, you can see the soil being shaken out, and then behind the webs is what Grimmy call multi-sep. So multi-sep is rollers with a spiral, a rubber roller with a rubber spiral on it, and these rollers run big, small, big, small, big, small, and the smaller roller, slightly lower, runs in the opposite direction, and that pulls the holm or the stalks down, and small pieces of soil get pulled down by those rollers, so it cleans. That's the last cleaning stage in the machine. And then you've got the elevator at the back, the big yellow elevator that brings them up, and then you can see from the drone footage, this machine is not like the 270, which will also be a video of, where it has a picking table, so you could have people up there. This machine is not for manned harvest. This is just a one operator machine. So it's got the 2 big wheels at the front, purely for steering and carrying the weight. They're not driven. Check that detail. And then you've got the 2 big class TerraTraks at the back, which carry the weight of the machine and drive. But as you can see in the field here, this is the mark from the wheel, the front wheel of the machine, and this is the mark from the TerraTrak. So this is carrying all the weight of the harvester, but if you look, it's actually not terribly compacted. I can still push my finger into it. And then this is quite clayey soil. So that's how much difference it makes. You can see right next to the track, the compaction is very little, very minimal next to the track. The tyre, same, not too bad, but you can see the depth difference from the wheel on the front of the machine to the track. Yeah, so the potatoes got the webs shake out most of the soil, but as you'll be able to see from the footage I've got, they try to, most potato harvester drivers will try and keep some soil all the way through the machine until it gets to the multi-sep.
And even Oliver said he doesn't try to get rid of all the soil in the multi-sep because it just provides a little bit of cushioning, and he knows that he's not cleaning the crop too intensively. If there's some small clods of soil still in the bunker, he knows he's not going too harshly with the cleaning in the machine. So then off the multi-sep they drop into that ring-shaped conveyor on the back of the machine. They lift them up to the top, and there's an elevator which takes them forwards all the way to the 7-ton non-stop bunker, which works in that position with the elevator out, and then when you want to transport it, it folds back in and stores within the bunker. But in order to get the maximum capacity, you have to work with it out like that. When it is working, you see the potatoes drop into the bunker. There's an elevator and it drops right down, and that prevents damage to the potatoes. So it lowers them, it drops them into the bunker from a minimal height, and then as the bunker's working, it starts to move the potatoes up towards the end. And then as Oliver unloads the machine, it only takes a couple of minutes to drop 7 tons into one of those trailers. 2 drops and they're full. And so he drops those, and then as the machine starts back up again, the bunker winds itself backwards. So any potatoes that are in the top part of the elevator go back down into the bottom of the bunker, and you don't lose them out as the bunker starts to fill itself again. I'm going to make a point of doing these little field lessons. So this is the track from the Class Terra track underneath the machine, and this is where the soil and everything that's been separated out of the machine lands here in the middle. Some of it's here under the track. So in this we've got small potatoes that fall through the web, and stalks, or hulum as it's called in the trade, and then lots and lots of soil which is really loose. So what Oliver was saying about this machine is that because it travels so well on the tracks, the farmer that then follows this, that the land belongs to, that they rent it from, was saying that actually this bit in the middle, this loose bit, is actually a bit of a pain in the bum, because it's so soft and fluffy and that hasn't been travelled on, that kind of bungs up their machines that they follow with. So they actually roll these fields and then go in with their cultivation equipment. So Oliver told me that they run most things are 6 metre, but they're 5.4 metre travel width, if you like, for the 4 beds. So they run everything at 5.4 metres. So bed tillers, power harrows. The planter is a two row planter, but they try to keep all the traffic managed as much as they can. It's difficult with root crops because you've got such narrow passes compared to cereals operations, but that's what they try to do. So everything's run at 5.4 metres. Okay, so this is the machine unloading. You can see
Oliver dropping the elevator right into the trailer there, just to minimise the amount of drop the potatoes have to endure, because any impact will bruise the potato. Then if it's being stored, that will cause rots. So that's it, that's how fast it unloads. So 7 tons in a matter of a couple of, not even a couple of minutes. This is looking underneath the multi-sep system, so the rollers that I described earlier on. This is pulling all the tops and some soil out. This is where it all gets discharged down here. Some of it does get wrapped around the tracks, but it's not detrimental to the machine's operation. Then you can see the Class Terra track there, keeping the machine floating along nicely. And this is this soil that's dropping through the webs closer to the front of the machine. So this is the volume of soil that you can see that comes out and is separated, and you can see just a little shaker arm there that creates a little bit more sieving action. A shaker arm there that you can just see in the shot. And this is the first and second web here underneath the machine, so it's all soil and potatoes. Okay, riding along on the top of the machine here, looking at the rear elevator which transports the potatoes from underneath onto this last elevator. This is what the webs look like. They're all the same on the machine, so things can drop through that are not in the spec that you want. And this drops down. This is the same as the main bunker elevator. It lowers itself right down as the bunker is empty, so the potatoes aren't falling from height. And then you can just see the bunker creeping itself along, filling up, filling up, filling up. Anyway, I'll stop waffling now. I want to get this YouTube show back on the road, having taken a little bit of time off because of work commitments and other things. I'm back as a full-time freelancer now, so I want to get this going forward. So comments welcome, questions welcome, and most of all subscriptions welcome. Thank you very much.